questions that change everything. Have you ever felt like you're constantly chasing more success, more validation, more happiness, yet still feel like something's missing? What if everything you truly need is already within your reach? What if the key to getting everything you want is learning to be grateful for what you already have? In a world that shouts more, Stoicism quietly teaches us to appreciate enough. And when we do, something incredible happens. Our world expands, our peace deepens, and fulfillment begins to grow from within. If you're ready to stop chasing and start living with purpose, presence, and power, subscribe now and join this journey of deep self-improvement. Let's explore how gratitude, through the timeless lens of Stoic wisdom, can transform your life from the inside out. 1. Gratitude isn't just a feeling, it's power. Gratitude is more than a polite gesture or a fleeting emotion. It's a force, a lens through which life transforms. The Stoics understood this deeply. They didn't wait for good things to happen in order to be grateful. Instead, they trained their minds to find goodness in all circumstances, even adversity. Why? Because gratitude, when practiced consistently, shifts your perception. It moves you from a focus on what's missing to an awareness of what is already present. From scarcity to sufficiency. From resentment to reverence. To the Stoic philosopher Epictetus, we may not control external events, but we do control how we perceive them. And gratitude is a powerful perception. When you are grateful, you're not blind to pain, loss, or injustice. You're simply choosing to direct your mental energy toward what is constructive rather than destructive. You're saying, yes, this is difficult, but look at what remains. Look at what I still have. That perspective doesn't weaken you, it empowers you, it centers you in strength. In the modern world, where consumer culture constantly bombards us with messages of inadequacy, you need more to be happy, to be worthy, gratitude is a rebellion. It says, no, I already have enough. Gratitude breaks the cycle of craving. It rewires the brain to stop scanning for what's wrong and instead notice what's right. Neuroscientific research has shown that people who regularly practice gratitude experience increased activity in brain regions associated with dopamine and serotonin, the chemicals responsible for feelings of well-being. Gratitude literally changes the structure and chemistry of your brain. Imagine waking up tomorrow and instead of instantly checking your phone, you take a deep breath and acknowledge the miracle of simply being alive. Your lungs work. Your heart beats. The sun rises. This is not naivety, it's clarity. It's choosing to see reality in its full spectrum. Every moment holds both beauty and burden. Gratitude is the discipline of leaning into the beauty, not to ignore the burden, but to withstand it more gracefully. Think of the hardest moment in your life. Maybe it was a loss, a betrayal, or a period of uncertainty. What helped you get through it? Was it anger, despair? Or did you find, even in the smallest corner of your mind, a reason to keep going, a thread of gratitude that anchored you? That is the power of this mindset. It's not loud or flashy, it's quiet, steady, and resilient. You don't need perfect conditions to be grateful. You need presence. You need perspective. Gratitude teaches you to find value in what you once overlooked. The breath in your lungs, the roof over your head, the food on your plate, the friend who checks in, the lessons hidden in failure. These aren't small things. They are life itself, and as gratitude becomes your lens, you begin to live from abundance. You stop seeing others as competitors. You celebrate their success because you know there is enough good to go around. You become less reactive, more compassionate, more centered. You start to attract better relationships, make better decisions, and cultivate a deeper sense of peace. Gratitude is not passive. It is not weak. It's an active choice, a bold stance in a world that trains us to complain. It takes effort to be grateful. But that effort changes everything. Gratitude isn't just a feeling, it's power, and it's available to you in every single moment. 2. Set intentions that reflect your soul, not the world. We live in a world that tells us what to want: status, wealth, applause. But when we blindly follow those signals, we often end up empty, chasing things that never satisfy. The Stoics offered a radical alternative. They asked a simple but powerful question: what do you actually control? The answer is just as simple: your mind, your choices, your actions. Everything else, outcomes, opinions, events, is outside your control. When you truly understand this, it changes everything. Instead of setting goals based on how the world will reward you, you set intentions based on who you want to become. 2. Set a Stoic intention is to live by principle, not pressure. It means choosing courage over comfort, kindness over convenience, wisdom over popularity. These values don't depend on circumstances. They are stable anchors, no matter what storm you're facing. When your intentions come from your soul, you stop chasing validation. You become someone who acts with integrity, even when no one is watching. Let's say you're working on a difficult project, and you're unsure whether it will succeed. A world-driven mindset would focus on the result. Will I get the promotion, the praise, the recognition? But a Stoic mindset asks, am I showing up with effort, honesty, and discipline? Am I aligning with my values? If the answer is yes, then you've already succeeded, regardless of outcome. Because success, according to Stoic thought, is not what happens outside you. It's who you become through the process. This doesn't mean you shouldn't have goals. It means your goals should be rooted in virtue, not vanity. Set an intention to be honest in your work, generous in your relationships, and calm in adversity. These are goals the world can't take from you. They don't depend on external events. They depend on your character. When you act from your soul, you stop comparing yourself to others. You stop measuring your life by superficial metrics. Instead, you ask, am I being true to my values? Am I living with purpose? That's real success, and this way of living brings unexpected freedom. If your intention is to grow in patience, then delays no longer frustrate you. They become opportunities. If your intention is to practice compassion, then even difficult people serve a purpose. When you root your life in intention, you can transform any situation into a moment of growth. The truth is, life is unpredictable. Outcomes are uncertain. But your intention, that's yours. That's your sacred choice. Choose it wisely, set it daily, and let it guide everything you do. 3. Daily practice gratitude as a way of life. Gratitude isn't something you stumble upon once in a while. It's not an occasional feeling that shows up when things go your way. It's a discipline, a way of life. And like any discipline, it grows through consistent practice. The Stoics understood the importance of ritual. They journaled in the morning, reflected at night, and took time to examine their thoughts and actions. Gratitude can be woven into this kind of daily structure, not as an obligation, but as an act of nourishment for the mind. Start simple. Each morning, write down 3 things you're grateful for. Don't overthink it. It could be your morning coffee, the warmth of sunlight on your skin, or the strength in your legs as you rise from bed. These small moments are sacred. They ground you in presence. And when you begin your day with gratitude, you set the tone for how you handle everything else. At night, repeat the practice. Reflect on what went well. Maybe a stranger held the door for you. Maybe you had a meaningful conversation. Maybe you simply made it through a tough day. There is always something. Over time, this habit trains your mind to search for the good. You become more resilient, more peaceful, and more mindful, and the effects ripple out. Gratitude shifts your energy. It affects how you treat others. When you're grateful, you're less likely to react with irritation or envy. You become more generous, more patient. Relationships deepen, conflicts soften, even challenges lose some of their sting because gratitude gives you perspective. Gratitude also helps you make wiser decisions. When you operate from a place of sufficiency, you don't act out of desperation. You don't chase things that don't align with your values. You pause, you consider, you choose more deliberately, but most importantly, gratitude reminds you that life is happening now. Not after the promotion, the vacation, or the weight loss, now. And when you fully grasp that, you stop waiting for happiness. You start living it. So build your practice, write it, speak it, feel it, make gratitude your baseline, not because life is always easy, but because it is always a gift. In a world that moves too fast and demands too much, gratitude slows you down, anchors you, and reminds you of what truly matters. And when you practice it daily, it becomes more than a habit. It becomes your way of seeing, your way of being. Gratitude becomes life itself. 4. Accept nature's flow, even the storms. Life doesn't always go our way, and that's not just a cliché, it's a reality we all must face repeatedly. The ancient Stoics didn't shy away from this truth, they embraced it. Rather than waging war against the unpredictable tides of existence, they taught us to flow with them. They believed that peace doesn't come from controlling everything around us, it comes from mastering the only realm we truly possess, our inner world. In Stoic thought, the idea of living in accordance with nature is central. But this doesn't just mean admiring sunsets or hiking in the woods. It means aligning ourselves with the fundamental nature of reality, including its difficulties, its losses, and its unpredictability. The Stoics urged us to stop fighting the current of life and, instead, to learn to swim with it. Epictetus, a former slave turned philosopher, taught that we should distinguish between what is within our control and what is not. This simple distinction becomes a powerful compass. Our opinions, choices, actions, and reactions, these lie within our domain. But everything else, other people's behavior, illness, accidents, or misfortune, rests outside our control. Resisting these things is like yelling at the sky during a storm. It changes nothing and it drains our strength. Imagine standing on the shore, waves crashing at your feet. You could scream at the sea to calm down, or you could learn to surf. The Stoics chose to surf. They taught that wisdom lies not in wishing away the storm, but in learning how to remain still within it. This doesn't mean passivity. It means strength, the type of inner strength that no external force can uproot. The modern world often teaches us to seek constant control over schedules, careers, outcomes, and people. We're told to hustle, to dominate, to manifest a certain reality. But what happens when reality doesn't obey? When the job is lost? When someone betrays us? When illness arrives uninvited? This is where Stoicism shines, not as an abstract philosophy, but as a practical guide. To accept nature's flow is to stop demanding that life be fair or easy. It's to acknowledge that hardship is not an error in the system. It is part of the system. The Stoics would ask, why be shocked by the inevitable? Why let disappointment poison the present moment? Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, often reminded himself in his journal, the now famous Meditations, that obstacles are not barriers, but paths. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. The storm, then, is not an interruption. It is the training ground. It shapes our character, To live this way is not to be defeated. It is to become unshakable. The person who learns to accept life on its own terms, who stops arguing with reality, becomes a force of calm amid chaos. Picture a tree in the wind. The rigid tree snaps. The flexible one bends and survives. So too with us. Resilience is not about gritting our teeth. It's about yielding wisely. This form of acceptance is not apathy. It's wisdom. It's the realization that we conserve our strength by focusing on what we can actually influence: our thoughts, our words, our attitude. Instead of trying to change the storm, we become the calm. Instead of fighting the current, we learn to steer within it. Storms will come. Losses will happen. People will disappoint us. That is not a flaw in the system. It is the very fabric of being human. But if we can hold our center, if we can meet life not with resistance but with grace, then we are free, free not from hardship, but from unnecessary suffering. So accept nature's flow, even the storms, especially the storms. They are not here to destroy you. They are here to reveal the strength that was waiting all along. 5. Let gratitude lead the way forward. Gratitude is not weakness. It's not naive optimism or forced positivity. Gratitude, in the Stoic view, is one of the most courageous acts we can commit. It is the deliberate choice to recognize the good, even when life is hard. Especially when life is hard, when we think of gratitude, we might think of giving thanks around a dinner table or writing in a journal. These are wonderful practices, but true gratitude goes deeper. It is not a passive feeling. It is an active state of awareness. The Stoics taught that everything we experience, every moment, every interaction, every hardship can become fuel for growth if we meet it with the right mindset. Gratitude, then, is a way of seeing. It's a lens that transforms how we perceive our lives. Instead of constantly scanning for what's missing, we begin to notice what's already here. We become alive to the small blessings, a breath of fresh air, a meaningful conversation, the chance to start again, today. And something powerful happens when we practice gratitude consistently. It ripples outward. A kind word shared, a sincere compliment given, or a simple thank you can have an effect far beyond what we imagine. These acts are not trivial, they are deeply human. They remind others that they are seen and valued. In a world often filled with criticism, comparison, and division, gratitude becomes an act of quiet rebellion, a refusal to be hardened by cynicism. But perhaps the most transformative form of gratitude is gratitude in hardship. This doesn't mean pretending things are fine when they're not. It doesn't mean ignoring pain or denying injustice. It means holding on to the belief that even this difficulty, this loss, this challenge is shaping us. The Stoics called this amor fati, the love of fate, not mere acceptance, but love for all that comes our way. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "To welcome with affection what is sent by fate." This is the essence of mature gratitude. It is not reserved for sunny days. It is a torch we carry into the dark, and this mindset builds resilience. When we face adversity with a grateful heart, not grateful for the pain, but grateful for the strength it summons, we become grounded. We are not tossed by every storm. We are anchored in something deeper than circumstance. We begin to understand every hardship is a teacher. Every challenge refines us. When life feels heavy, when things fall apart, the practice of gratitude offers us a way forward. It doesn't fix everything. It doesn't erase grief or reverse misfortune. But it does give us perspective. It reminds us that we are more than what we lack, more than what we've lost. It helps us see that growth is still possible, even here, even now. To choose gratitude is not to pretend life is easy. It's to acknowledge life's complexity and still say yes. Yes to the lessons. Yes to the gifts. Yes to becoming someone who can carry both joy and sorrow without losing heart. So let gratitude lead the way forward. Begin with something small, something real, and let it grow from there. In doing so, you're not just surviving, you're living with depth, courage, and grace. The fulfillment you seek is already within you. You don't need more to be grateful. You need to be more aware. Everything you want, peace, purpose, connection, it doesn't come when you finally have it all. It comes when you finally see what you've already got. Gratitude isn't the end of the journey. It's the beginning of transformation. So if this message resonated with you, like, comment, and subscribe for more Stoic wisdom and self-mastery content. Let's walk this path together. Remember, be grateful. Everything you want is already on its way.